Do you do you look like somebody you would want to sponsor? More importantly, do you look like somebody you would want to be sponsored by? Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Let's talk about recruiting gravitas, the marketing gravity that you create, the personality gravity that you create, that binds people to you. Here's something that I think a lot of people don't understand about our profession is that the most important dynamic is not your product or your product line, which would shock a lot of people. And the most important dynamic is not your comp plan. The most important dynamic to growing your business is you. Why do you hear me harping about self-development all the time here in my books, in the MLM Confidential newsletter? Because you're the nexus, you're the what creates, you're the engine that drives everything. And I would say there's three questions that people ask themselves about you when you're approaching them to join your business. And they're never going to ask them. They don't even know they're asking themselves. I believe these three questions are what goes through their mind on a subliminal or subconscious, I guess, subconscious level, which would be, do you look like you're going places? Do you inspire confidence? And do you seem like you would be fun to work with? There's just a psychology about that, a vibe, a feeling that either resonates with them or doesn't. You look like you're going places. Why? Because people like to follow people who are going places. Do you inspire confidence? Would you feel confident getting on an airplane if the pilot looked like he was frightened out of his mind and he had never flown a plane before? Would you want to get open heart surgery from a doctor who looked frightened out of her mind and like she had never done a surgery before? Um, and then most people have a job. Most people don't like their job. A big percentage of them actually despise their job. So they don't need another job that they hate. They're looking for something fun, interesting, intriguing, dynamic, rewarding, lucrative. So all of that gets decided by how you make them feel when they meet you, whether this is online or offline. So I wanted to do an episode just on this, on your posture and your presence. Now let's start with offline. And why I'm starting with offline is because this is more important than what your online presence is. And that's another thing might shock a lot of you because you say, oh, no, I only build from home. I do everything in Zoom and Facebook Live, and I don't recruit in the real world. Sorry, you're deceiving yourself. How you carry yourself in the real world, it's always going to bleed into the online persona of you, perception of you. Um, what's your overall demeanor? Are you a happy person? Do you enjoy when you meet people? Do they enjoy when they meet you? And that is determined again by self-development, what you eat, what you drink, right? What's the fuel you give your body? The supplements or medicines you take, right? There are things that have depressive effects. There's medicines that depress you. There's alcohol that depresses you. There's drugs that depress you. There's foods that depress you. And I mean, like, clinically depression. There's a lot of studies now between the gut brain, access, the linkage, the barrier, and all that stuff affects. And, if you're waking up late, you don't have a lot of sleep, you don't do any self-development, you're rushing into your day, you're likely not to be charismatic, not to be telegenic, not to be happy, not to be friendly. Are you an argumentative person who is roiled up and spun up by social media triggers and political polarization, and you're looking for arguments everywhere you go, online or off, right? What's your demeanor? Grooming. Guys, when you get 35 or 40 years old, get on sharperimage.com or Amazon and get a clipper for the nose hairs and the ear hairs. Get yourself properly groomed. Ladies, there is so much. I'm going to get in trouble for this. I know I'm going to get in trouble for this. Let me not affirm that, cancel that, but I'm not going to affirm anything. Let me just say, ladies, if you look like an Instagram Barbie and you have your lips so puffed out like a sea bass and you have 4-inch fake eyelashes and you are so caked on with makeup and you're dressed like you're doing a Buns of Steel video, I don't think people are going to take you very seriously in a business opportunity. And likewise for the guys, right? When we talk about dress, which we're going to talk about next, right? There's ways you dress when you go to the Grammys, and there's ways you dress when you're doing business negotiations, right? So grooming and then style and dress. Ask yourself, what is the top rank of your company? National vice president, ambassador, diamond, whatever it is. Here's the question I would ask you. When you go out and you leave the house, do you vibe like that rank? If your top rank is, quadruple diamond, when you go to the supermarket, when you go to the gym, when you go to the car wash, when you go to the concert, when you're going to the movies, do you vibe like a quad diamond? Or do you vibe like a borracho? Right? And I'm saying this for you and myself, right? What happened with COVID? We all like, okay, I can wear sweats every day. I can wear hoodies everywhere I go. Nobody cares about appearance anymore. I can lay around the house in my pajama bottoms and put on a nice shirt, and that's it from, you're out in the real world, and that's where people are going to see you, create impressions for you. It's really fascinating thing that people don't recognize more is a great deal of your ability to recruit people isn't in your presentation or the actual viability of your business model, your company, your product line. It's their experience of you before you made that or got them in front of that presentation. And I'm going to add one more thing, like your environment. I went to do a training for a team down in Dominican Republic. One of the guys, top leaders, who's I don't want to say the rank because I don't want to be throwing anybody under the bus, but he was, call it the X rank, say it's a really high rank. So he picks me up and the car windows are filthy. The bugs all over. He must have done a 300-mile drive through the country at sunset, and the windshield was just covered with bugs, dead bugs, smeared up. The car was dirty outside. Got inside, there was crumpled up fast food bags in there. The car hadn't been washed in weeks and weeks, maybe months. And I told him, you're in rank X. Do you think anybody who would get in this car with you would think you're a rank X? And he was like, oh my God, I'm busted. You're 100% right. I need to be mindful of that. And now he is. So that's your presence and your posture offline. Let's talk about your presence and your posture online. Your social media profiles, the bios in those profiles. If you have anything political in there, you're going to be alienating and driving away people. If you're a very religious person and you think it's very important to present your faith in your bios, I'm not going to tell you not to. That's a personal choice you make. But just know you may, you may drive people away who would be great people in your business just because of you're going to scare them in your bio. You know what I love about my team? And I mean, I love about my team. I have an event. I have women in burqas and devout Muslim men. I have fundamentalist Christians. I have Orthodox Jews with the things hanging down and wearing the hat. I have atheists. I have Buddhists. I have Muslims. I mean, Mormons. My group looks like the world. And we all get together, no matter what's going on in the Middle East. Like right now, Hamas and Israel, right now, Iran and the terrorist groups they're supporting, and my group, when we come together for a meeting, we're there for a shared purpose, which we are working together to make the world a better place. And we love each other as fellow human beings. And we don't allow any of that political rancor to infect our team. So we have, we have fun, Sharia law Muslims sitting next to Jewish people, literally 2 seats apart, 3 seats apart, because we know what we're there for. And we don't let ideology and politics destroy something beautiful we're doing together. What's your photo? I am completely shocked on dating apps and social media profiles, how many people think that the best photo of them is when they were at some theme park or bar or circuit party where they have a 32-ounce schooner of beer and they've got that mug of 32 ounces of alcohol, and that's their profile pic. I'm like, couldn't you get a good pic of you with the crack pipe instead? Because to me, it's the same thing. If you're putting up a pic of you with a 32-ounce schooner of some alcoholic beverage, you might as well put up a pic with you with the crack pipe, or shooting up with the heroin. It's just, is that really the first impression you want to do? Then what's in your feed? Okay, Trump versus Biden, masks versus masks, vaccines versus anti-vaxxers, toilet paper roll upside down or downside up. I mean, is this really how you want to lead to the world? I think today, if you're getting hired for a job, if you're getting considered to be a sponsor, if someone is thinking about dating you, in all of those scenarios, I think the very first thing they do today is they go and they look at your social media profiles to see what kind of person you are. I love politics. I'm a political junkie. I watch the political shows on TV every Sunday morning. I got involved in campaigns. I contribute with campaigns. I started working as a volunteer in political campaigns when I was 15 years old. I'm a policy wonk, but there's a place for that. It's not on my profiles, and I don't need to go around assaulting people in public to tell them why they're an idiot because they don't agree with my political views. So think about that. What's your streaming background? Every one of us now, let's be realistic, 90% of what we do is done online now. So you need to have a place in your home set aside for your broadcasting, and you need to turn off your phone. Have a place to broadcast from. And you got to think about what that looks like for people. So you got that blank wall with nothing on it, and people are looking at it, looks like a hostage video. They're like, hey, blink twice if you need us to call the police. Find somewhere that looks nice, where there's good lighting. You don't need to do a studio. That isn't going to duplicate. Just find a place you can set up your laptop or your phone and have the sun, like a window. I have a window behind my laptop that gives me great light. I do one supplemental light because there's a corner over there. If I'm doing a live stream at night, I bring one more supplemental light and I put it on this side so it kind of equals out. You don't have to start with that, but as soon as you're going, you need to get. And then when you become a leader, you're going to need to get a laptop or a tablet and not just your phone. Be a big kid. It's time to invest. Once you get to that such and such rank, go out and get a laptop and be able to run your business for that with lots of other things besides the live stream. And by the way, for you guys who are on the boards platform, Jaime and I have a Duplication Nation boards. And if you go in at the business plan level, so you get to the premium boards, we actually have a great guidebook showing you the formula for setting up a really good online presence. So that's really the crux of what I wanted to get across to you today is think about that. What is the recruiting gravitas that you're presenting to the world? Do you look, sound, and act like somebody you would want to be sponsored by? And do you look, sound, and act like somebody people would follow through the gates of hell? Because they'd say, that's a serious, credible person. They're going places. I believe in them. I want to go to those places with them. All right. Have an amazing day. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about the Duplication, all your team, the Duplication Nation MLM podcast. Peace.